Hey everyone, it's Dan from Aussie Garage. On today's episode, we're talking to John about his SLR5000 L34. Hey everyone, it's Dan here from Aussie Garage. Today I'm here with John. We're in a familiar environment today. We're in the WA Motoring Museum at Whiteman Park, and we're here to talk to John about his SLR5000 L34. So, John, how long have you had this car, mate?
First purchased the car in, I think it was 2001, and the way we sort of came by it, we were looking for a hatchback for my son at the time, and he wanted to rebuild a car, so we were looking for a hatchback. And yeah, one Sunday we were looking in the Reader's Mart, and we saw SLR5000, and so I said to my son and wife, let's go and have a look and just have a look and see what it's like or whatever. Not that my son was going to buy it, but went and had a look, and we went out to Bentley, and the guy opened the garage and lifted the cover of the back of the car, and my wife said straight away, you need to buy it.
Yeah, okay.
And
well, if you get approval that quickly, then that's good, isn't it?
Exactly, and thanks to her, yeah, the guy then took the cover right off the car, because we only just saw the back of it, and he then, we realised that it was something that, you know, we should buy, and so we ended up doing a deal with the guy, and we purchased it then, and yeah, so we've had it since probably July 2001.
Okay, so what was the condition that it was in when you got it? So it was obviously pretty good if he'd kept it under a cover and fairly well.
Oh, it's beautiful. It hasn't been repainted. It's just been polished and kept under cover and whatever. So
well, that's amazing because it looks fantastic.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It was in really good condition when we got it. The underneath of it is really well kept and whatever. So really, the only things that we've done since we got it initially, when bought it, it had, of course, the hot wires, which were, you know, the wheel of the day in the early 70s. So we changed those to the sports wheels. And then we had a bit of a gearbox leak, and we decided one day we'd take the gearbox out and reseal that. And we were looking at putting the gearbox back in, and my son Trav and I were standing looking at it, and then we thought, oh, right, let's take the engine out, and we'll go through the engine at the same time. So we took the engine out, and we went through that, and basically resprayed the engine bay while the engine was out. But that's basically all we've done with it. We were very lucky at the condition that it was, and the people that had it before me, I don't know who had it, but they did a good job looking after it or whatever for the state that it's in.
A true survivor, they'd say.
Oh, exactly, and you know, yeah, it's a great little car, and you know, I think, you know, the sad thing is, you know, you get a nice car and you want to keep it that way, and you want to try and keep the Ks down, so you really don't take it out as much as you should. In the early days, we used to go to Motivation each year and take it down there, but over the last few years, we haven't really taken it out.
So have you been into cars your whole life? Where does your history with cars start? Is this something that was on your bucket
pretty
list?
much. I was a young guy, brought up on a farm, and, you know, sort of pretty mechanically minded from there. You know, started off with a Holden panel van and, you know, pulled the engine out and rebuilt the engine and that, and it's just sort of gone on from there. As my son Trav, apprenticeship as a motor mechanic, so we sort of kept involved, and then, as I said, when we got hold of this, he was looking for a hatchback to rebuild. We eventually found a hatchback at the price level that he wanted to pay. He totally rebuilt that, and the engine and everything, and yeah, we started drag racing, and he went down and drag raced the little hatchback for a while. He wanted to go faster. So we upgraded to another car or whatever, and he sold his hatchback, and we got another little LJ Torana, and we drag raced that, and then wanted to go faster again, so we ordered another LJ and drag race that. But in the meantime, we were sort of, you know, looking for cars to buy or whatever. And after buying this one, ended up buying a Walkinshaw, similar thing. It was in really good condition. Just kept that in the shed. Whatever. So yeah, that's where it sort of started. It's carried on from there.
Yeah, cars are in the DNA then from.
Oh,
from
basically,
back in the day. Yeah. All right. Well, I reckon we should pop the bonnet and have a look under there.
Yeah, no worries.
Awesome. Very, very original.
It is pretty original. You know, the experts will say we'll be able to pick things or whatever, but
Yeah.
one thing that it doesn't have is the twin coil distributor. You know, I think in the days when they came out, I think most people changed them out.
Yeah,
they're very hard to get now if you want to, because there was not so many of them. From what I've read anyway, there was only about 263 of the L34s that were actually made. So probably a lot more now though.
Yeah. That's right.
With clones and tribute cars. It's got the original carby, original headers.
Yep.
And we also found when we took the engine, stripped the engine down, a lot of things that were, you know, not in a normal 308.
Okay.
You know, it had an Isky cam and a few other things in it, which.
So do you think that was done after it was sold?
No, I think it was done
when
it was built, because the engines apparently for the L34s were built by Repco. So they built a lot of the engines or whatever, and they were testing parts. And there's, you know, plates on the harmonic balancer so that the rubber doesn't, or the harmonic doesn't come apart from the rubber, and you know, a fair few things in the engine that are not standard for a normal 308. Actually went to the Holden historical group, and you know, they gave me a printout of the actual build of 308 Diff and M21 gearbox.
Did that go into the detail of the engine componentry? Or
no, not that deep into it. No, it just basically gave the build specification as it was ordered.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks to my son for the rebuilding and whatever of the engine, and you know.
How was it lipped up and that sort of thing when you pulled it apart? How bad was it?
I don't think it was that bad. It was
just needed to freshen up.
Hasn't done 100,000 kilometres, so.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, there you go.
so it hasn't done many Ks either. So you know, that's what makes it, you know, I think a little bit special anyway. Yeah. Low kilometres and in the condition that it's in.
And what's the gearbox and the diff behind this one?
M21 4-speed.
Yep.
And it's just got a banjo diff in it, and that was, from all accounts, a bit of the downfall of the L34s was the diff wasn't all that strong, and you know, lots been written about driving them as a racing car the way they were set up. That you know, the likes of Peter Brock and Colin Bond could get the life out of them, because they stayed on the track. The minute you got some wheels off the end of the gravel, you know, they'd break the diff. Yeah. So obviously when they went to the A9X, got a stronger diff, and a few other mods. And you know, and in cars of, you know, this age, it was always the big thing. You know, you pulled a 9-inch in them, but we were lucky to get it, and it's standard. One stage when I got it, I was like, oh, I'll take the 4-speed out and I'll put a 5-speed in it or whatever. It was only through my son that said, no, just leave it as it is. Don't muck around it. So.
Yeah, well, to find it in such complete condition, it was the right move,
I'd say. Yeah, now it is. You know, when you've got it, you know, going back to when we bought it, we didn't really, to a certain extent, realise what we had.
Okay.
All we had was a nice blue Torana SLR5000. But you know, we're looking at it closer with the tags or whatever. It has got the L34 upgrades and whatever. So, yeah.
Do you know how many owners it went through before you?
I don't know. You know, we sort of just went and saw the guy, fell in love with it, drove the car home.
All right, well, let's have a look inside.
Yeah.
All right, so again, just original as in here.
Pretty much original as, yeah. The only thing that has changed is it's got an aftermarket radio and cassette player, but apart from that, it's standard. As with the L34s, no console in them, and but basically it hasn't been cut and shut or whatever, except for the replacement of the radio.
It even suits the era being a cassette player with the big buttons, you know, like we all had one of those in our cars back in the 80s.
Exactly right. It goes back to the 70s and early 80s. So it's very stock standard. And
well, they were these race spec cars, weren't they? They were never anything flash on the inside.
No, they weren't. And, you know, when you look at the likes of Peter Brock, Colin Bond that drove these cars, and Alan Grice or whatever, you know, you really got to take your hat off to them that they could actually throw these cars around. And then, of course, the Ford guys with the GTs, how they could actually drive them with the brakes they had. And
it would have been a wild ride around Bathurst in those days, mate.
Oh, exactly. You know, just driving it on the street, you know, it would be better on a racetrack because of the gearing or whatever. But those guys really could drive cars.
All right, well, let's go through to the back and check out the back.
No worries. Into the boot.
Yep.
Yeah, the only thing we've added is fire extinguisher, and the only other thing I think the experts would say it's got a carpet in the boot, and they would normally have just a rubber mat. I think it's this year's 50 years of the SLR5000 L34. So yeah, it's just great to have a car in this condition. When I was a young bloke in early 20s, I had the LX model, but with a 4.2, and that's when I would always wanted to have an SLR5000, the 5-litre one, but could never afford one. So yeah, one came available. It was, as I said, wife had said, soon as she saw the guy just lifted up the back, and she took one look at it and said, you've got to buy that.
Sounds like it's in the perfect set of hands to just keep it in this original condition, and just...
We certainly hope so, and yeah, hope it gets passed on down the family.
Yep.
And yeah, all will be good.
Well, it sounds like your son's right into cars with you, so that'll be a bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah, Trav's son, my grandson, he's into cars or whatever. He knows everything about them and which car's which or whatever. So
yep.
I think he'll be in the,
All right, John, look, thanks so much for talking to us at Aussie Garage and showing us this awesome Torana, mate. It's really good to see something this original still here and still surviving and completely untouched. So thanks very much, mate. And I believe this isn't the last time we're going to see you, because it sounds like you've got some cars stashed away at home that we're going to come and have a look at as well.
Oh yeah, we've got a couple of others that not as original as this one. A couple of others that we've rebuilt over the years. We'll invite you around to have a look, and
that'd be great. Well, we can't wait to get out there and have a look at everything else you've got.
No worries.
Awesome. Thank
you very much, and I'd like to thank the Motor Museum for the opportunity to come out here and the opportunity to put the cars here.
All right, thanks so much.
No worries.
Cheers.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, Phil. Well, we got a bit of time after that, and we're at the Motor Museum, so let's go check out what's new, eh?
Yeah, definitely. Let's go check it out.
Now, we have no idea what we're looking at, so we're just going to show you and say nothing, because it'll all be wrong.
Yeah, definitely, because we don't know enough about these, but yeah.
Check it out, there's little air vents and ducts and stuff everywhere. Oh, there you go, for those that are interested. Only 14 were made, wow.
Okay.
And this is number 8.
Sweet.
This one's right up our alley, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. We love our Sandman.
Definitely. Well, he's even got one of the original Sandman surfboards.
Yeah.
That would be from the 2015 one, you'd reckon?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, nice to see a panel van in here.
Yep.
Well, this is new.
Yeah, definitely. Haven't seen this before.
Bit different for us, but this is new.
Yeah, what? Eurovision?
Eurovision. Yeah, check that out. This is the car that was on the stage with him.
Apparently these guys are a Perth band.
Yeah, Voyager are a local Perth band, and this was apparently the first car the lead singer ever bought.
Yeah.
Something different and weird in here, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Awesome. Well, I had to stop here for obvious reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Even John Whiteman, we saw John Whiteman's place.
They weren't actually wrong, but they had to be reinforced. Anyway, that having been done, I then started to panel them, and that's when the trouble started. Unfortunately, we were...
This is so for second look.
There will be aluminium, but aluminium can we come in all sorts.
Oh, did you see that? Phil was trying to kill me.
Yeah, sure.
All right, what do you got here? Look at this.
Yeah, it's nice. Apparently this is one, or if not the only one, that's been Aboriginally painted from scratch from an Aboriginal artist, Justin Martin.
And Pathways is the theme, I believe, with this.
Yes.
Which
Talks
is really
about
cool.
The whole pathways of the Aboriginals and cars and stuff like that. What's that?
You want me out of the way?
No, not yet, mate. It's all good.
Oh, not at all, really.
Just adds to the shot.
So I'm sure there's some deeper meaning behind all of this.
Yeah, definitely would be.
Now it's pretty cool because it was kind of no fuss, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Patrick was telling us that they just literally bogged up all the rust and painted it.
Yeah,
just,
yeah, and it
just
looks
to make an
sensational.
art piece, you know, like
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yep, perfect.
All right, well that was the last thing we're gonna look at, I think.
Yep, nah, we're done.
All right,
We're out of here.
nice. Catch us on the next one.
See you guys.